So this drill is going to be the tactical frog, and it's really going to be geared towards both loosening up the hip joint, the adductors and the hamstrings, as well as teaching you how to move from the hips while sparing motion at the spine. Meaning, as you're rocking back in this position, I don't want the lumbar spine to flex like this, and that's going to make sense here in a sec. But I want to make sure all this motion's coming from the hips and not the low back. So, what the tactical frog is we're going to get on all fours right here. For the stretch, we're going to slowly spread our knees apart, and if you look at my knees right here, my feet are not inside my knees. My feet are in line with my knees, okay? We can either be up with the tall chest here or down on our forearms. And what that looks like from the side, I'm in this position here, and I don't want to have a big extension, and I want to make sure we're not flexing the lumbar spine like this. So we're going to find a good neutral spine, and all we're going to do is we're going to slowly rock back into our hips, keeping our spine nice and still. Now it's really important as we rock back, again, not to let the butt tuck underneath us. So from the side view, this is a good rock right here. We don't want this butt to round back like this, right? So all we're thinking about doing is moving from the hips, not from the lumbar spine, rocking back and forth. Now, again, we can come down here and do that same thing. The further the legs get apart, the more tension, the more stretch is going to be. The closer they are together, the less stretch there's going to be. Just be comfortable with how, it should always be comfortable. You should never be grimacing. Expand your comfort zone. Don't push your limits. So a modification of this is what we're going to do is we're going to kick one leg out like this. And again, either on our hands or on our elbows, slowly rock back. And if you watch my foot now I'm getting a really good adductor stretch. The same concept applies with the pelvis. Make sure you're not rounding too much at the pelvis, and we're not kind of going back towards our leg like this. We're just continuing to go straight back. It's going to change it even a little bit more if I allow that toe to come up. So now I'm rocking like this, and that's getting a little more of the lower hamstring as opposed to keeping my foot flat, which is getting higher in the adductor, okay? Obviously, we do that on both sides. Usually, whatever position we're in, I'll spend about 30 seconds to a minute going through that stretch and just kind of, again, expanding the comfort zone, not pushing the limit. The very last one, I'll go down onto my forearms here, and what I'll try to do is create a little internal rotation by kicking one heel up towards the ceiling, trying to touch a hip to the ground, and then coming back up. Now, if this modification is uncomfortable on your shoulders, or you start to get cramps or anything like that, you don't have to do it right away, but it really allows you to work that internal rotation as well as the external rotation. You can do a lot of different things with this exercise. Just make sure you take it slow, make sure it's comfortable for you, and go through all those different variations and kind of just feel what that hip feels like in the end ranges. And that should be a good way to loosen up hips and adductors.